Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and continuing the saga of GW's intelligent changes to the Imperial Guard Codex, I thought I would touch on this article here, which some people have been discussing online. Death Corps Krieg, what's in the new army box? I, like many hobbyists, love a good army box. There is something about Games Workshop putting a big box together full of the same models I'll be able to buy in smaller boxes at a later date usually, or even models I can buy in smaller boxes at the moment. Dropping the price a little, putting some cool art on the front that just drives us wild. I am not immune from this. I have bought big boxes from Games Workshop. In fact, it is actually my preferable way of buying miniatures from Games Workshop if I buy from Games Workshop at all. The running joke on my Discord server is just how many Age of Darkness box sets I've bought. There is, there are memes by people like Molotov Kraken floating around about, a fourth AOD box set, and I prefer buying big boxes. I will buy, the Space Marine Battle Force, the one with the Mark III and the Derridre. I bought two of those straight off the bat because my plan is basically buy big, buy once, and then use them over the rest of the year, and that's it. I don't want to have to spend £30, £40, £50 a month. I'd rather spend £150 on a box set and then wait until I finished it and buy something else. Or not, and I like buying big box sets. So we've got this Krieg box set, which has got 10 Death Riders, their Marshal, piece of artillery, and some Grenadiers in it. And it's the sort of box that normally I would quite happily pick up. And I wanted to discuss a couple of things here, because this style of box has changed in value quite a lot in the last few years. For when I started, when I was actually at GW, you had like battalion boxes, combat patrols, or whatever they were called. I can't remember exactly what they were called, but they were usually around the £40 to £50 mark. They were quite a good saving. And then you had bigger boxes, usually referred to as like army boxes, which would be over £100, could be all the way up to, I think the largest one I ever saw was the Space Marine Company box set, which was, I think, £400, maybe a bit more. It's been 15 years or so since that was released, so I don't really remember. And they had a lot of models in it. That box set, itself, I mean, there was the £400 one was literally an entire company of Space Marines in one go, sort of thing. And they were good at starting an army. Now, the sizes of armies has changed a lot. The points value changes. The points value has generally stayed the same, a 1,500 point army, a 2,500 point army. Those were generally what you were aiming for, and they've kind of always stayed the same. But the value of the points per model have changed dramatically in some cases. A 2,000 point army, or a 1,500 point to 2,000 point army back when I started the hobby might have been something like 2 tactical squads, a Rhino, a Predator, a Dreadnought, and 2 HQs, and now it's, it could be the same depending on the army. It could be twice the size of that. It all depends on the version of the game we're playing. And I'm sure many of the people who've spoken about this already know where I'm going with this, but this article, basically, it talks about what's in the box. Nothing wrong with that, Artistically, I'm not a big fan of the new Death Corps Krieg. I think the horses are absolutely far too big for what they are. And I think that the Forge World set is better in every single way, apart from possibly posing. The rider on the far right, I think, is a fantastic pose. All the Forge World ones are rather static. But the issue comes from when we scroll all the way down here and we get to this bit. And they give you a 1,000-point incursion force. Your nice startable, starting set, And it turns out that this entire box set, which we still don't know the price on, estimate of anywhere from 120 to 150 quid, is only 300 points. It's a third of an army. And people are rightfully discussing whether or not that's... Is that fair for such a huge outgoing on a single box? Is the price point there? Is the cost to value ratio actually being sort of taken in consideration? Is it fair for the consumer? You'd expect that a big box set would be a good chunk of your army. Again, to throw the boomer juice into it, one of the sort of earlier box sets I got as a child was the High Elf Army box, which was this great big thing that was effectively a 2,000 point army on its own, and had special characters, lords on, hippogriffs or whatever they were, entire units of knights, Phoenix Guard, archers, spearmen, and it was £100. Now it's £100 back in the early 90s. That was what, I don't know, probably 1997-ish. But still, that's more comparable to what you were getting with the old world, big battalion releases at the beginning of the old world, like the Bretonnian one. But these release box sets where they're coming with their codex and they're coming with some, shiny models that probably won't be available separately for a while. Is this just more FOMO? And is that healthy for this hobby? I don't think it is. I think that, this sort of thing... I mean, imagine if this box set was, like a box of tactical Space Marines, or, Space Marine Intercessors, a codex, a dreadnought, and a character, and they charge you 120 quid for it. Would you be happy with that? Because I certainly wouldn't be. I don't play 40k. I don't have any interest in playing modern day 40k. It's so dumbed down. There is no interesting granularity anymore. There's no depth. Everything about this game is just stripped out for tournament players now. That's why I like the Heresy. It allows me to make things my own, Is there any reason to take a jump pack Moritat with 2 Thunderhammers? Probably not. Can I do it? Yes. Am I going to do it? Probably. It'll be hilarious. But, I look at this and I go, cool, what can I take for my Death Guard? Or not Death Guard, sorry, Death Corps, guys on horseback. Oh, there's no options. Like, I can equip them with the chainswords or the swords, or I can equip them with the lances. There's no interesting tactical choices there. There's no depth to discover interesting combinations that maybe other people don't know about, and suddenly they go, oh, wow, I didn't know you could do that. The days of dropping 15 Goliath mines out of a Terax assault drill are long gone. And I just think that this box set, being such a small amount of points, but being, to me, that should be an army almost on its own. You have an HQ, two full units, another specialist unit, and a piece of artillery. That should be a good chunk for a starting army. But it's not. It's not even a third of a very small army. And that worries me, because I just don't want... I don't mind horde armies. I like horde armies. I think people who do horde armies are a different breed of people. I know how difficult they can be to work on. I had to paint hundreds of models for Games Day. So and you know, that was like a weekend deadline jobby, so I know what it's like painting huge amounts of models very quickly, and it's not fun. And I just think that this is just sort of bad value. It's bad businessmanship, as Captain Hook would say, bad form. And I think that you, the consumer, deserve more value, better value, a better deal, as it were, from GW. You know, these models are expensive, and I don't think they are worth the value they are ascribing to them. Not anymore, most definitely. You know, 1,000-point army is a small army. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, you don't seem to have any problem telling me I'm wrong. I'm happy when you do. It lets us have a conversation. Also, can anyone tell me if the commissar here is just a conversion, or is that an actual like unit now? I think it's just a conversion. Which is very weird to see JW actually putting conversions on marketing stuff again. So yeah, let me know, guys. What do you think about this? Do you think it is right? Do you think that there should be a fixed amount of points in these sorts of boxes that they're aiming for? Do you feel like I do on this? I don't know. Pop it down in the comments. If you like the channel, subscribe. Welcome to all the new subscribers in the last couple of videos. I hope you stick around. And yeah, keep things interesting. We've got some good stuff that's coming in the future, and we're getting closer to that 2,500 subscribers. When we get closer to it, I'll do another giveaway. I've got some bits and pieces I can send people. So yeah, thank you very much for coming along, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.